I'm having issues with the second track of the album, Never Forget. And I'm not surprised I am, to be honest. Having vocals at the forefront of a track, I don't do that often. Usually I'm doing instrumentals. So it always presents a challenge for me because I'm not used to it. As soon as I decided it was going to be a vocal track, I kind of knew what I was getting myself into. I have a clear idea of what I want the vocals or the lyrics to be about. I guess I'm just having a hard time framing these ideas in the way that I want to. Basically, what I want to explore with this track is the idea of liminality. I've been interested in it recently and like doing a lot of research into it, but I guess I'm having difficulty finding a way to sort of humanize the idea. I know what the concept is, but trying to relate it to like human emotion, which I think is important for writing lyrics, or at least that's what I like to do with my lyrics. Like no matter what the starting idea is or the concept, I want lyrics to be relatable and relatable to a human feeling. Like, I guess I'm just trying to avoid it being too clinical. I want to make sure that these ideas implement well with, what I wanted for the track back when I first made it in Japan. So I'm researching into these new ideas and I really like this idea of liminality, but I'm also trying to make sure that I remember my headspace in Japan and I need to make sure it relates. And to be honest, and I do think they relate. That's partly why I became so interested in it. It was kind of like I found a word for how I was feeling. I'm trying to combine this new headspace with whatever my headspace was in Japan and just make sure it all is relevant or all glues together nicely. The other issue is the original draft. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but when I listened to it again, I was like, this sounds very sweet, and I don't really want it to be sweet. I want it a little bit darker. Despite the fact that it sounds sweet, I think it's in Locrian. It was an accidental Locrian. I didn't mean to do that. But while I was relearning it, I realized, oh, this is a bit weird actually. The fact that it's Locrian, and I'm trying to add sections on that aren't Locrian, I guess. It just ends up sounding like a medley rather than the same song. It sounds like I've stuck two songs together, and that's really not what I'm going for. So yeah, I don't know if I'm just trying to make it too different to what it already is, but at the same time I don't want it to have the same feel as what it does right now, because it's just too sweet, and I want to implement this idea of liminality, and I don't think the current sound suits that idea. Overall, I'm not panicking. I do think I'll find a solution, and the thing is, this happens to me all the time. There has been so many songs I've made where I've had to do like 9 drafts, like 9 retries of the same song to get it right. So yeah, it's just a process that I need to go through to find out what is right and how it's all going to fit together. I just need to keep trying stuff out. I have so many lyrics written down, so many, pages and pages of lines, and they're not it. I'll probably come up with something completely different, but I still think going through all those lyrics will eventually lead to me writing the right lyrics. I'm hoping that all of this trial and error will lead to something good. Most likely, this is going to be the only song on the album where the lyrics and the vocals are at the forefront. So I really want them to be good. If I can do it right, I'm hoping they can sort of vocalize the central themes of the album, whereas the other songs will sort of manifest the themes through musicality. I hope that's a sentence that I just said there. Usually when I film these videos, I'm doing it in hindsight. I mean, there's been 2 main episodes at the moment, and they were all about Tori, the first track. And with Tori, I was playing catch up a lot of the time because I started working on that track before I did the video series. So that meant that a lot of the hurdles and problems I came across, they had already happened and they had already been solved. So I could talk about them in hindsight and also add in how I fixed them. I mean, that's what the entire last episode was about. It was about the problems that came up when I was working on Tori, and then the solutions that fix them. But I think it's good to talk about problems in real time as well, because I always go through stages like this. I think it's just part of any creative outlet. If any of you guys watching like either make music or do any other creative thing, does this happen to you? It's not just me, right? Occasionally I get a song which kind of comes to me easily, but most of the time it's a huge uphill battle, and no amount of experience seems to fix that. I mean, some experience does fix it, but I can't just release songs monthly. Like, there are people who do that, and I can't do it. I don't understand how. I always end up hitting the wall, and I need to like rethink my position. So maybe certain aspects just don't come as naturally to me. Or maybe people just don't talk about it a lot. I don't know. But yeah, the intention of this series was always to capture the good and the bad of making an album. So yeah, this is the bad. But it's not that bad. Like I said, I'm not panicking, but I'm just a bit frustrated.